Hey, what's good, everybody? It's the Third Eye Cam. Today's date is May 3rd, 2020. And the time is 9:52 in the morning. And another clear day. We do have my cloud anomalies back, and I'm going to be showing you some of them. You should be able to see some of them once I get out into my opening. I'm going to be pointing my camera in their direction. But it's always a good day when the sun comes out, for one. And these cloud anomalies are nothing more than the comet Atlas and comet Swan passing over. So what we're gonna do is set up my 35mm and get some of them. But for the moment, let's start showing you what's up there. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in closer, but there's my east, there's my sun, and there's my clouds. That's a cloud anomaly, definitely out in space, definitely over there below the sun. Yesterday they came in real straight way, and you can see they've changed trajectory and are gathering around the sun. That cloud in particular. I'm gonna go in closer. Just want to get the wide angle view before I go in close. And definitely that's my east coast. So what I'm gonna do is get you more off in the open. I'm gonna come back because I don't want to walk into my position and waste real. Oh, there's another one. But most everything is gathered around the sun, so once I clear the trees, we'll come back. So hang tight, we'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right, we're back like exactly 2 minutes later. Time is 9:55 in the morning. And we're just gonna look at the sky and see what we can see. And it's hot out here today. I don't even have my phone with me. But it feels like it's about 77 to 80 something degrees. And finally the heat's kicking, so it's gonna be somewhat of a hot summer. You know, they're trying to reopen the country couple of states by couple of states, and not everybody, the majority of the people that are used to having their way for the past 400 plus years are starting to fall apart, and now they're starting to feel the curses. But this ain't about them, that's just a sidebar. All right, check this out. Got a planetoid right here with its mini anomalies of asteroids, and taking in mind this comet has brought a lot with it. More than likely, honestly, this comet is probably a piece of a planetoid that broke off from probably millions or billions of years ago. So you gotta understand, these are remnants of other worlds that no matter how long they lasted, whether it was for a couple of million years or trillion years or whatever, billion years, they've broken up, their time is up, and they've been catapulted back into our neck of the woods as far as the solar system is concerned. I do believe that Earth too will one day be just like these comets. It'll break up and it'll come back into another solar system's, a young solar system's dwellings. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's life still on these rocks after they've settled. Possibly. That's just my theory. I like to analyze stuff like that. Not just here looking at this thing saying, oh, this is cute, I don't know, good job. No, I'm analyzing in depth where it possibly could come from, why it's here, where's it headed to. But that's not me knocking anybody else. I mean, it kind of is. You know what, the hell with it, it is. Because people still keep going into fairy tales when things are happening around them. They try to pretend like it's not happening, and it makes me really irritated. But it kind of gives me pleasure, because then I get to come with the real deal. And it's not anything that I'm just recently practicing. I've been practicing this since I was a kid. So if you hear anybody saying they don't know, and we all don't know, but you can hypothesize, you can analyze, you can speculate, as to what it might possibly be. But it's right there in your face. These are definitely clouds, but not Earth clouds. The reason I'm focusing on this is a planetoid rock. You can see the atmosphere coming off of it, and you can see a piece of rock below it venting off, and they're trading atmosphere. And it's real beautiful. It's got a sphere look to it. If these clouds would ever settle, then we would actually see the sphere of these objects. But because that's not the case, you're gonna see a whole lot of this. That is another piece of a rock. It's got rocks tatted between it. You see that one traveling away from the sun. It's probably gonna curve around. You can see the stretch of the tail closest to the sun. That's where it's being burned the most. And on the other side, being burned less. Come around to this one. There's a big planetoid somewhere hidden past this cloud. And I can see all types of little spherical moonoids in within those clouds. I think it's beautiful. Like, honestly, this is awesome. This is right on time. For me, it's a sign that God is coming. People are seeing UFOs all over the place now. Even NASA seeing them, and NASA starting to admit in an indirect way. They're just showing you on their little streams. If you don't believe me, look at Planet X, and that's Alex. That's my dude. I like him. He's very informational. Big up Alex, Planet X, and like I said, my page is my page, but I can big up anybody I want because I don't work with anybody. I work with myself and for myself on this page, so I don't have to answer to anybody but me. So when I give a shout out to people like Alex, Big Judah, Rap the News, Mr. MBB333, James LaFleur, for that is impossible. Make sure I ain't forget nobody else. Planet X Hunter, Samuel Hoffman. When I give shout outs to people like this, is because I appreciate them for the information that they do bring, and it keeps me motivated. Whether they do something that I don't agree with, it motivates me to come out here with my camera. Whether they do something that I do agree with, it's like, hey, I can identify with that because I'm catching that too, and it pushes me to keep coming. But I'm my own little self-made type of a guy, so I got great ambition. But I'm giving these guys shout outs because they don't do enough of that to each other, because some of them are slightly in competition with each other because they're on the same parallel. I can happily say I'm not on the parallel with anybody. The person I'm probably closest to will be Planet X Hunter. And I dig that guy. I appreciate him too. But this is not the reason why. He's not the total reason why I'm doing this. I started doing this just shooting without audio. I was just shooting with my cameras. And like, wow, look at this. But I didn't have commentary. My commentary didn't start until this third eye cam deal came along, and I was kind of nervous about that because I'm like, I never spoke. I've spoken in front of thousands of Marines before and taught classes, but I didn't want to speak to the world because this is a bigger platform, and you got to know what you're dealing with. You got to know how to interpret it. You got to know how to bring it to the people. You can't bring it as this is it, this is official. That's why you always hear me say, this is my analysis. This is what I think of this. And there is a Mr. Magic Chemtrailer. Holy hero. That's the first one I've seen in a while. I know a budget's been cut, so everybody's kind of not working. And this look at how this structural planet is still being held together, and it's drifting towards the sun. You can see the dark side of it, just like nighttime, and you can see the day side of it, daytime. And this is what lets me know that there are planets. And it's beautiful. There's another one. We're on the lit side of it. These things are out in space, people. Some of them, because Earth's atmosphere swings way out in space. I don't know how far. They say it goes all the way out to the moon now. I think all these planetoids that are consecutively coming in are causing an atmospheric envelope between them and the Earth, and the moon is being caught in between, and voila. I will not be surprised, honestly, and listen to me, if the moon starts growing vegetation, whether it be alien vegetation from these rocks that are hurling seeds and meteorites into space, and they actually plant fertile. Then you got the Earth's atmosphere, which is extending water, H2O, carbon, you know what I mean? And then at some point you're gonna get life. There's Mr. Magic Chemtrail headed over to that cloud anomaly. You know, when I got my pictures of the comet yesterday, both comets, Atlas and Swan, I caught a couple of UFOs flying through really fast, and they were in a straight line. They were not lent or anything. They were way out because my cameras are set for way out. So I'm going to be putting that video out also. And it was really interesting to catch that. I'm catching UFOs still. And I don't see them because they move too fast for my brain to interpret, but this camera catches them. My other camera's catching them, and it's just astounding that the cameras are catching what my eyes can't see. And when I look at my pictures and videos, I look at them methodically. I scan everything, I slow it down, and I don't pretend to put stuff there that's not there. I actually show it. All right, so again, we got all this right here. The asteroid is passing over here, right above my head. We got planetoids right here. Got one planetoid right there. Got one right there. Got my squarey object right there. You can see it really well. Make sure the camera's in the shadow. Squarey object. My little planetoid that was dark over here is now well lit over here by our local sun. I'm gonna say it's local. We got a planetoid showing up right here with the tail behind it. So it can't get no better than that, people. You know? Like I said, we're out here doing this for you all. I am. Myself and all those other guys I named out. We're all giving you information to help you save yourself. But if you ain't paying attention, we can't help you. Trust me, if I were Superman, I wouldn't want to help nobody like to the point where it's taken away from God, but I would want to save people's lives. That's just being true. Superman is like my favorite, and that's the most fantasy you're gonna get out of me. Favorite superhero. He's representative of what God is, and his name is Kal-El, El meaning light, and God's name is Elohim. So look at the similarities. When they talk about Kal-El and Superman, they're really talking about God. But enough of that. I figured out that a long time ago. There's my planetoid approaching right here. Like I said, my asteroid is passing over when I had all the craters. It's passing over right here. It's already getting close to the sun. It's going to scatter across the sun, between us and the sun. I think there's a planetoid right here. See how spherically round it is? You can literally see that. Definitely one right there. There, being covered up by these clouds, and there. Or else. And there. And it's showing up really clear. Really clear. And that's, I haven't even zoomed in all the way, so I'm gonna zoom in. Alright, so why is that showing up as a sphere? Why not just an irregular cloud? We already know God don't build in straight lines. Clouds give irregular patterns. That has a spherical pattern. God does build spheres. That's a sphere. Look at how close it is. That is a sphere. Look how close that is. And literally on the bottom of it is dragging a tail behind it, and that tail is going to bring a whole lot more with it. Again, another sphere. And this OCG is starting to scatter across the sun. So some of it is in between us and the sun. But the ones that are out there are really proving that the sun is local. By the way, they're lighting up. And we all know how light works. There's a Mr. Magic Chemtrail with that sphere right at the treetop center. Must be the same one. That's definitely a sphere right there. Chemtrail is right here, going that way, and the sphere is right here. That's definitely a sphere. Like I said, all this is a sphere. This is dispersing a lot of OCG off of it, and the tail going way back out northwest. All right, so we're gonna take a break. and I'll come back later because I like to give the sky time to change up, because I'm not a instant here and now there type of a guy, because I understand things have to change in order for us to get the bigger picture. If we just say, hey, ooh, look at this, and be out with it, then you're leaving inconclusiveness. I like to conclude things to a degree. That's why a lot of my videos starting out were like long when I first started this, because I was getting to the meat and potatoes of it, and a lot of people didn't have the mentality to really look at what I was trying to show them, so I didn't get many views and likes. But that's fine, because when all this comes back, they're going to review all my information, because I'm always out on foot. I don't mind. I'm a soldier type. We're used to being on our feet, and we you know what I'm saying, we cover ourselves. We like to be in very accurate. We don't want to be comfortable sitting on our butts clicking computer mouses and keys. I do enough of that too. Trust me, I got plenty of computers, click mouses and keys. Now my sphere is starting to elongate because its cloud is starting to spread out below it, but you can still see the sphere. Same with this one. I'm gonna have to go wide on this real quick. All right, that's my wide angle. That way you can catch everything. I need for y'all to see all this. And I'm gonna point my camera straight up for a minute, because this planetoid is starting to come over our heads. If these planetoids are indeed spaceships and they have cloaks, and I can see why the sun don't black yet. But maybe I shouldn't have said that, because that might be one of God's little secrets. Waiting for that right moment to park a planetoid like a Depth Star between the sun and the earth and black it out. But maybe I've spoken too much. Most people already know that, though. I'm not saying nothing new. Where do you think Star Wars got it from? That's what the moon is representing. And these comets, which are harbingers of death, represent nuclear missiles. It's hot out here. I'm burning already. I can smell myself cooking. It's gonna be a hot summer. Why? Because you got all these planetoids bouncing the sun rays off, and these rays are coming through reinforced through the Earth's atmosphere, because the filter of the Earth's atmosphere can't handle it refracting off these close planets. And it comes through the clouds and through all the moisture and all the chemical properties, and once it hits my skin, I get an extra bit of a dose of vitamin D with some radiation. Pretty sure I've been radiated. I see a in between the clouds, asteroid way back with a shadow on it, or its dark side. That's its dark side. I'm sorry. Dark side of it. And these clouds are about to cover the sun up. I think that's another planetoid way out there above the treetops. You can see where the sun. I don't want to get trying to use a tree to block the sun out. See where the clouds are coming in, and they get ready to block the sun out temporarily. It's just going to put a slight filter on it, so however this planet's going to orientate around the sun, or these rocks, I don't know, some kind of planetoids up there, they're going to filter through and bend the light of the sun around them. So we're still going to see the sun. We're still going to see light. It's going to be filtered. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's take a look out. So the sun is being filtered. It's getting ready to get dark. And look at the ground. The ground is getting darker. And I'm gonna zoom in. All right, zoom in on this. We can see the sun going into the obscurity of these clouds with planetoids behind them. I can see the planetoids. If you look, since I know how to divide our Earth clouds from the atmospheric and spatial clouds, I start seeing them very clearly. There's my spherical planet over here, right there. There's a cloud galloping around it. Got some kind of asteroidal property of a body right here. Got a tail sweep coming through it. And it's getting dark. That looks like a planet. And wow, that looks like a planet. See that? See that sphere? See that cloud of smoke? Let me see. See if I can get it on my camera. I want to get that just right. Yeah, there it is. Center of the camera. Am I zoomed in all the way? Yes, I am. Looks like a sphere venting off a cloud of its own. And it's showing up in the dark, trying to put it center of the camera. I don't like too much landmass on my videos, so I'll walk it back. I'll come back to that later. Just trying to catch everything. And we can see the sun showing up through the clouds. Trying to see if light's being bent around any kind of objects. I do see a lot of OCG in the stratosphere. I'll come back to that. Just like this one right here. A lot of OCG. Seems that the dimensions of the Earth have changed due to these planets coming inbound. I'm not the only one seeing this, and the reason why I called those guys' names out earlier is I want you to go to their channels. I want you to look them over thoroughly. You got a lot of catching up to do if you're new to all this. You got a lot of years of catching up to do, and you're gonna have to compress it for the people that are just now getting into this. And if you feel like you want to start your own webpage on YouTube, please do. Find your name, get you some cameras. Whether your stuff is ratchet or not, just put it out there. It ain't gotta be neat. I like to be ratchet sometimes. But I have a different way, the way I show my videos compared to a lot of other people, and that's purposed so that way you can see how we all do our thing differently, and you can distinguish us as to the way we do our craft with our skills behind the camera and how we bring it to you. But I would advise you, if you want to start your own page, if you're interested in looking up like this with a camera, get your stuff together, try, get your peoples to help you. Hit me up, thirdeyecam@gmail.com. I'll shoot you some money, but it's got to be towards a project. I got family to take care of. I'm not going to be taking care of people, just taking care of your habits. It's got to be a serious deal. And I got to see some footage before I send you something. I don't mind sending. Trust me, I hook a lot of people up. I don't mind. If I got it, I give it. It's not about you giving to me. All right, so we're gonna take a break. Let the sky change up and we'll come back. All right, Third Eye Cam, poof. All right, what's up everybody? You're on deck with Third Eye Cam, and today's date is May 3rd, 2020, and the time is 15:27, 3:27 for my civilians. And I got my GoPro with me all the time. I wasn't going to really do anything. Of course, I'm out here catching whatever. This just popped out. Look at that. I'm gonna zoom in here in a second. I just wanted to give you the wide view of it. It looks like either two planetoids beside each other or one big planetoid. It's hard to tell. I want to say it's a asteroid, a small moon next to a big planetoid. Let me zoom in. All right, look at that. That in the center looks like a planetoid, definitely. Look at the way the cloud cover is scattered around it, and it's at a different texture pattern, whereas these clouds are more stratospheric. And this one, actually, there's a body in the center of the camera behind this big cloud, and it's got a tail swinging back. But then it also looks like that's a sphere, and it's got clouds emanating. It's got a base cloud, spheres in the dark, and it's got like continents that might possibly have some cloud cover over them, and it's got a moon to the right of it and an asteroid right here and there also. That's just my theory on that, but I honestly think that right there is a moon type of a planet that's way out, and I don't know what this deal is. It's hard to tell, but it looks like there's a cloud scattering around the body. I think I've seen this one before. That's definitely spherical, and look at the way the clouds are scattering around it. Now it just looks like regular clouds if you don't have the brain to break down the layers. That looks like another planetoid right there. But that definitely looks like like some kind of planetoid with a moon to the side and some asteroids surrounding it. Like that's literally just, I saw it coming, but it didn't. It was kind of scattered. The formation was really scattered. But I just want to take the time to get it before it goes away. That definitely is a planetoid. That little, whatever it is off to the side, definitely a planetoid. All right, it's headed out east, and that's east coast, past those trees, or the east coast, as in the ocean. And you know, we'll see what else we can catch. But that's definitely some kind of planetoid. Just look how spherical it is. I just don't want to let it go right quite yet. It's just very awesome to see something like that. But I think that is a planetoid way out in space, and that clear spot, that's our atmosphere is camouflaging, might be its oceans. You see the spherical perimeter of it. You see all these like moons and whatnots around it. That's got to be one of my planets. And it's got, just by the way it's swirling. Look how it's swirling. It's swirling like going to the left. Got the arrows pointing to the left. It's swirling in that direction. And all the clouds are banking up at the bottom. Trying to make sure I got that right. Actually, those clouds are moving to the right. So this thing would have to be swirling, rotating to the right. Again, that is not in the Earth's atmosphere. A portion of it is touching the stratosphere, which is that bottom half, and probably a little bit of that right there towards the back off the tail. Some of it's coming into the Earth's atmosphere, but not much of it. And again, you got your little comet heads. But this is a cluster of spheres. That one off to the side, some in the back right here. They're just showing up real close. These things are in close proximity to each other. It's really crazy. All right, I'm gonna jump off this. I'm pretty sure I'll see it again tomorrow if the sun comes out. All right, Third Eye Cam. It's always a pleasure to bring this to you all. This is a learning deal for me also. All right, we'll be back. Poof. I just wanted to catch it at a different angle, away from the trees, and it's still holding the same pattern. You can still see it. Kind of looks like the Starship Enterprise. There's the front, the bottom of it, the back span wings, and those little huyas that make the warp speed. It's got an Airbus going over it too. That's beautiful. I mean, I really like it. It's definitely changing slight shape, but that planetoid is definitely holding. Like I said, it's got another planetoid out in front, which is a bunch of comet heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see too many. 11, 12. It's got too many for me to count, but you can clearly see it. I said again, I said it looks like the Starship Enterprise. You got your front saucer, the bottom belly, and the back nodules. I forgot what those things are called. Those are the ones, the back engine nodules. And there's a buzzard flying over. It looks like a buzzard. Yeah, that's definitely looks like the Starship Enterprise. I like that. To boldly go where no man has gone before. And that is exactly what we are dealing with. Alright, and then over here by the sun, sorry, I'm driving. I'm in the parking lot. Got all this activity. So you got this round the spheres thing, whatever it is, passing. You can see the actual planetoid objects within it. There's an asteroid center. There's a little moon. Below that asteroid to the right. And then to the front, you got more of your comet head. I'm thinking that's part of Swain. The Swain comet. I don't see anything else up by the sun. this anomaly that looks like the Starship Enterprise is definitely on point. Now it looks like a bird facing the other way. There's the tail, the head, and the feet. So, you know, it's just interesting to see these little images pop out. But more importantly, there's asteroids and comets and planetoids in there. Just really interesting to see. All right, we're out this time. All right, cool.